I don't know if you have a relationship with Israel, but he's always been very, very praiseworthy of you, and he believes the fight between you and him, two black men main eventing for the belt, is very important for the history and the culture of the sport. What do you make of that?
He said that when
He
he said
did. He
that.
said that to us, yeah.
Yeah, for the culture. So for me, I didn't want to rush that fight. I felt like he just needed one more big win.
Who, Darren?
Because
Darren or
he had to hit
Cannonier?
Cannonier, was it?
Okay.
Cannonier, Jared. Yeah, I mean, two black men going at it at the height of their careers. Like if he has one more big win, like again, if he fights Darren in 248, in my undercard, if he has like a highlight win, that could be the next one.
We got receipts.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, you're the first people I heard, in reference to it being two black men.
Mm-hmm.
I have a few different thoughts on that. But it's, again, like I said, coming from a striker at his level who's been doing it at the level he's been doing it in. I've watched his career since before he was in the UFC. I've learned from watching his highlight videos, from watching his fights and stuff. So from my perspective, I have an appreciation for guys who contribute to the martial arts. I don't want to say culture, but, to that thing called martial arts, right? He's contributed to martial arts, and I've taken from that. With that being said, it's high praise coming from a guy like that. He's definitely recognized what I've done and definitely sees potential in what I can do. Especially if he's saying that, he sees us having a good fight for the title one day. That means he knows exactly what I know. I'm going to get my shot at the title, So, I appreciate that. As far as the black man thing, I've heard, for one thing, I've caught flack for my name. People, liken it to Mandingo era fighting.
Uh-huh.
So, some people try to introduce a little stain to the name in that regard, but that was nowhere near my consciousness when I was thinking about the name. My name is in awe and in admiration for for a gorilla. Speak for a gorilla. And kill a gorilla sounds cool, so you know how we do. It's sports and entertainment, so I might as well look cool at the same time while I'm getting my message across. I lost track of what I was saying, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because there's so much respect between both of you, Jared. We saw what happened with Yoel Romero and Israel Adesanya, and you mentioned how you learned so much from watching that fight. I guess the big question a lot of people would have is, if you were in there instead of Yoel Romero, how do you think that fight would go down? How do you think a Jared Cannonier versus Israel Adesanya fight goes in your mind, especially after seeing that fight that we saw this past weekend?
Yeah. Well, again, I employ a different style, So my goal, my whole prerogative in the fight is to do damage be the most effective, being the most efficient while employing maximum effectiveness and power, So, and I also employ tactic. I'm not going to sit and wait. I may sit and wait. I like to employ psychology. It's not just physical for me. It's mental as well. And then it's spiritual as well for me. Personally, it's spiritual for me. And then that translates down through my mental into my physical. So who knows how that fight will go. But again, after watching the last fight, seeing how Izzy does his thing and seeing how he, how he tries to manipulate his opponent in his fights. I think I don't think that would work too well against me. I think I'll be able to download that real quickly and be able to adjust to that very quickly in the fight. At that point, we would see him making his adjustments, because I know he's going to make some adjustments. And then it's going to be a very technical, it's going to be very high stakes, because when I swing, I do damage. My goal is to do as much damage, with the least amount of effort, So it's going to be a beautiful thing. I know that much. And actually, when I debuted at middleweight, me and him, we actually met backstage because he had just fought Derek Brunson. And he was back there doing, his post-fight media stuff, taking pictures and doing all that stuff. And I was making my rounds after doing my fight. So I had introduced him. I saw him, so I was already kind of ecstatic to see him after I had just watched his fight. You know what I'm saying? After watching his entrance, you guys saw how he entered the fight, into the cage in that fight, and then, I drew energy from that. You know what I'm saying? People said I imitated him, but they don't know how dogs act. So, but if you go back and watch that, I entered in a response to the way he entered. To send a message, not only to him, but to whoever, anybody in the middleweight division. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we introduced ourselves backstage. You know what I'm saying? I introduced myself to him, and I fanned out a little bit. I want to let you know I'm a big fan of yours, man. I've been watching for a long time, and I'm excited to see you here in the UFC and all that, all that shit. And he said he didn't see my fight. You know what I'm saying? But he was respectful and stuff like that. And he said that he's sure. He said something. He said I can't remember how the conversation goes, but he said that we'll meet. You know what I'm saying? Essentially, he was sizing me up, saying that we'll fight, because he was trying. I guess at that point he was ready to fight everybody. So
yeah.
But yeah, he said we'll meet. I'm like, okay, yeah. Well, let's take a picture then. You know what I'm saying? Come here, let's take a picture. Let's seal the deal. Essentially, in my mind is what I said. But we took our picture, and then you know what I'm saying, parted ways at that point, and that was the beginning of my MMA, my middleweight debut, and we saw what happened with him after that. So
yeah.
But yeah, it's, nothing but respect to the man. I'm happy to see him doing his thing. I love seeing him put on for the people. You know what I'm saying? I can't express my love, appreciation, gratitude for that specifically. He's doing it in a very righteous manner. You know what I'm saying? So I have nothing but respect. We don't have to antagonize anybody or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? It's all about greatness. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's great in their own way. And I just love seeing our greatness shine like that. So hats off to the man, and I look forward to our fight.